Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I will be playing in the DPM machine, the Hellcat, a Tier 6 American tech tree tank destroyer. Now, the Cryos and the Jagdpanzer IV are also known for DPM, but I think that this vehicle is a much more well-rounded type of tank, because the Hellcat has 2500 DPM, which is amazing, I should point out. That's enough to easily deal with Tier 8, let alone Tier 6. But not only does it carry that DPM, it also features great dispersion, great aiming time, really good standard pen at 175, and 243 premium pen. The gun is amazing on the tank. The average damage is not amazing at 225, but it's fine. I mean, it's Tier 6 again. You're fighting a lot of mediums and lights that have 160 alpha, so you're very easily going to outtrade them. 10 degrees of gun depression, and mobility-wise, 65 kilometers per hour of a top speed with a power to weight of 28. I mean, overall, the Hellcat is just a beast. This is a tank that is amazing to drive. And it's very rare that you find a vehicle that is so good at so many different things. But the Hellcat really just grabs all of those features and says, yeah. I mean, the only downside you have, which granted is a big one, is the fact that you have 0 armor. There's a mechanic called 3 calibers rule that exists in the game. And the way the mechanic works is any shell that is 3 times the thickness of your armor in the caliber of the gun. So for example, if I have a 50mm plate and a 183 is aiming at that plate, 50 times 3 is 180, but because a 183mm gun has 3 more millimeters of caliber than the thickness of my armor times 3, it will always overmatch the armor and pen no matter what angle or the penetration. Fun fact for you there. So, because of that, 3 calibers rule affects the Hellcat a lot. You've got like 14 millimeters of armor, which means anytime something hits your front or your sides, it is almost guaranteed to penetrate. So just keep that in mind. The only spot that you might get a bounce is the tracks and the mantlet. The other thing about the Hellcat is that it's very easy to high explosive, and you don't get spall liners, so once again, also keep that in mind. These are not huge downsides, because in Tier 6, the majority of players do not know what they're really doing, but it still is something to keep in mind, especially when there is that occasional seal clubber down in Tier 6. So we get a nice shot into the ARL, and already we've been able to take off a little bit of hit points, but we get another nice shell into the ARL, taking off a little bit more HP. And we get another nice shot into the ARL, taking off a little bit more HP. And by the way, something you should also notice about the Hellcat is very, very good camo. You'll notice that we're just chilling here, not spotted at all, farming the enemy team. We've already been able to deal over 1,000 damage. And look at the mobility on this thing. I mean, it is Lightning McQueen here. I am speed, going 60-something kilometers per hour. Now we just pull over here. We got a nice 208 damage shot into you. And he's like, oh, I'm going to reload. I'm going to get a shell into you. No, you're not. Psych. There you go. We get an easy pen into the crop. Oh, God, that's a gargoyle. I did not notice that. Let's get a pen into the gargoyle. It did shoot, which means I'm just going to push over here. And let's see. I cannot HE the gargoyle, but I can get another easy shell into his tank. I hope he doesn't reload faster than I think, but let's just go, yes, another shot in. Okay, well, already we've been able to absolutely tear into the enemy team, dealing over 2,000 damage. We've got the Krupp off to the side, which we get an easy shell into, destroying the engine on as well. And, well, because I like damage, now we're going to swap on over. Well, I guess we don't need to. Okay, I guess we are going to. I was going to say we're going to swap onto the ARL, but then my shell kind of trolled me. There you go. Easy shell into the ARL. Let's reload again and load in a premium shot. Finish him off for 160. And now let's keep on driving. We got the Krupp right here. Load in a premium shell just to guarantee the penetration. And all that's left is the, I don't even know what the heck that is. The Panglong, that's right. The new Tier 6 Chinese tank destroyer. I could really care less about it. But it's a tank that we're going to shoot in a moment. After we shoot, obviously, this player. Hooah! There you go. And now we're just going to go to the Panglong over here. You're going to get pangs by my long pang. Haha! Alright, either way, pretty easy shot into him so far. And by the way, 10 degrees of gun depression, as I said earlier. So, very flexible. This game, I got 6 kills. Not only did I get 6 kills, but I did over 3,000 damage. I did 3,400. I mean, do I need to say anything more about the Hellcat? It is such an amazing tank. It has the mobility, it has the DPM, it has everything going for it. It looks amazing with the camo wargaming added to it. It is just an absolutely fantastic vehicle. I really hope Wargaming gives it PBR because, let's face it, this would be a really cool tank to get PBR, especially because the Super Hellcat already has it. Why does the Hellcat not have it, Wargaming? Tell me! Either way, let's get into one more battle and see how it ends up. It probably won't go as well as that first one, especially when up against a Smasher, which will probably know how to HE me. When up against tier 7s, you will have to worry about big boys like the Smasher. Honestly, all of their tier 7s are quite deadly. Even their tier 6s are all really deadly. That lineup is not a very fun one. So you might get the opposite side of the spectrum here, where one game we do great, and the next game we get absolutely crapped on. Especially when it looks like the majority of my team does not want to go up bridge because they're a bunch of poobs. So yeah, this is the worst of the worst. I'm on a map that going up bridge is the best way to go for this type of tank. We're up against vehicles like the Smasher that can one-shot me, and, yeah, it's not looking great on that aspect. Now, the nice thing is we've got a lot of mobility, so I can get into the base before the enemy does, and I'll know where they're going. Yes, okay, so it looks like they are going towards the bridge, which is, good, actually, because it means I'm not going to be murdered instantly by a Smasher, hopefully. Let's use that good mobility the tank has and make our way through their spawn. I'm not going to worry about base B, because that's a waste of my time. I'm going to take advantage of the mobility I have, let a slower tank capture the base, and let's see if we can get behind them. So let's keep on going. Even uphill, we are speeding along. As I said, the mobility on this tank is super, super nice. So here we go. Got the Ag Panther, and boom, easy shell into his tank once. Let's just see if we can get another easy shell in. Ah, that shell went nowhere near where I aimed. Alright, well, let's see if we can bait a shell from the Ag Panther. Come on. You just gonna stare at me? Oh, he shot. Hello, Ag Panther. Hooah! There you go. Another easy shot for 219. Let's put on my reload. Hooah! It hit the gun. Of course it did. I am gonna wait for my camo to probably reset here. There you go. Easy shell into the KB2 once, and let's chill right here. Yes. Oh, looked like that shell missed by hair on my chinny chin. Alright, let's take a look at this KV2 again, aiming. Let's just load a premium shell, that way it's faster than my AP. Does not look like it penned the KV2, unfortunately, but this one will. There you go. Easy pen. The agent YOLO'd in front of me and died in front of me. Interesting to see. There you go. KV2's dead. And all that's left is the Smasher, ISU-122S, Spark, and the T-25-2. Alright, well, let's once again use that mobility, make our way behind the enemy. We got the Smasher right over here, and, well, I'm trying to think of how I want to encounter this. Let's get a shell to the ISU. Obviously, we want to get a shell into his track wheel so he can't turn around, and boom. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to get a shell into his track wheel. Let's get a shell into the Smasher. There you go. Nice shot once. And is the Smasher going to start looking at me? Yes, it is, but we'll get another easy shell into his tank. Let's reload again, and let's see. Come on, Smashy boy. Ah, he could see me there. Interesting. I don't know how he saw me there, because I couldn't see him, but I guess that's how logic works sometimes. Well, Smasher, I hate to break it to you, but you're not going to live. Either way, another pretty good battle overall. Nothing as good as the first one, I'll be honest. Definitely a bit worse because it wasn't up against tier 6s, which makes sense. But not a bad game at all. I mean, this is the Hellcat. It's so mobile, it is so fun to use, and I should also point out that I have an equipment on that allows me to basically not get one-shot by Smashers and stuff like that. I'll show you it in just a second, but 1800 damage, not bad at all. I mean, you can see we still did second on the team, only beaten out by a tier 7, which makes sense. So if you take a look on equipment here, in the Vitality slot, you have minus 10% damage from 130mm or larger shells, or minus 10% to the chance of pen. Now, obviously, this tank, you should always run minus 10% to the damage, because everything's going to pen you with HE. So run the damage, and a Smasher goes from 960 alpha to like 860, 850, so you actually have the opportunity to not be one-shot with a vehicle like the Hellcat. Either way, very fun tank to drive. It is super, super strong, and it's definitely a vehicle. If you have not pulled out, you should pull it out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.